Destroy your laziness. The warrior way. Have you ever wondered why so many people live and die without ever truly becoming themselves? What if your greatest threat isn't failure or rejection, but comfort disguised as harmless laziness? And what if, right now, you're unknowingly trading your greatness for convenience, just like everyone else? Welcome to Live Stoic. Live Strong, where we trade illusions for truth, where emotions are felt but not obeyed, where clarity is power and discipline is freedom. This is not just a channel, it's a mindset. It's a journey of conscious living, where let's begin. Where waking up in a life that wasn't mine anymore. She wasn't mine anymore. She wasn't a criminal. Not a drug addict, not even a bad student. But for years, Mary lived in darkness, both literally and emotionally. She was addicted to cheap dopamine, scrolling TikTok, watching YouTube, binging dramas, and playing games until 3 or 4 a.m. Every night came with the same promise, just one more video, and every morning came with the same dull regret. Mary used to be so full of life, curious, kind, a girl who once dreamed of becoming a writer. But over time, her spark faded, not because she wasn't smart, but because she was drowning in comfort. Nietzsche once wrote, "He who does not want to belong to the masses must cease to be comfortable with himself." Mary had unknowingly chosen comfort over meaning, and it caged her. She'd sleep past noon, skip meals, and live through screens. She called it relaxing. But it wasn't rest, it was numbness. Her grades plummeted. Conversations with friends became rare and shallow. Her parents began to worry. But Mary would just shrug, forcing a tired smile. Inside, she felt like an imposter in her own life. She hated what she had become, but had no idea where to start changing. Carl Jung might say she was consumed by her shadow, the parts of herself she refused to face. So they grew, silently. One morning, after a full night binge watching a crime show, she looked up and saw the sun bleeding through her curtains. It didn't feel warm. It felt like a spotlight on her emptiness. She whispered, "Is this really all I am?" That morning became a turning point. Ball. Mary didn't make a grand plan. She just did one small thing. Deleted TikTok. Then she placed her phone outside her bedroom. She went for a walk the next day. And then again. Slowly, she read more. Nietzsche, Marcus Aurelius. She cried when she read, "Become who you are." She started journaling, meditating, taking cold showers. Between journaling sessions, she'd drop to the floor and do a few push-ups. Not for fitness, but to feel present in her body again. Of course, she stumbled. There were weekends when she fell back into old habits. But this time, she didn't drown in shame. She observed it. "I am not this urge," she'd say. "I'm the one watching it." The self-hate began to soften into self-respect. Halama. Mary wrote letters to herself. She named her fears. She faced the silence that once terrified her. Her shadow didn't disappear, but it no longer controlled her. She began to live with intention. Now Mary studies again. She works part-time at a local bookstore. She walks every morning before sunrise and writes each evening. Life is not perfect, but it's hers. The world didn't suddenly change, but Mary changed how she met the world. Nietzsche said, "If you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you." Mary no longer runs from the abyss. She learned to walk with it. From the bottom of my heart, I want to express my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you, no matter where you are in the world, for taking the time to watch this video. Your presence and support are the driving force that keeps me creating and sharing. No words can truly capture the depth of my appreciation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing. And thank you for walking this journey with me. The brilliant German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche believed that inside every person lies the potential for something extraordinary. But here's the harsh truth. Just like most people, you'll probably never realize it. Why? Because you'll likely let it be wasted by your own laziness, just as the majority do. Statistically, it's true. If you do nothing, you're already drifting toward mediocrity. That's where most people end up, not because they tried and failed, but because they didn't try at all. In his work Untimely Meditations, Nietzsche doesn't hold back. When the great thinker despises mankind, he despises its laziness. For it is on account of their laziness that men seem like factory products, things of no consequence, unworthy to be associated with or instructed. He's not talking about being tired from hard work. No, this is the laziness of the soul, the kind that makes you abandon your inner fire. Nietzsche believed that to escape this fate, one must do what few dare to do. Take life seriously. Take yourself seriously, he says. The man who does not wish to belong to the mass needs only to cease taking himself easily. Let him follow his conscience, which calls to him. Be yourself. All you are now doing, thinking, desiring, is not you yourself. Let that sink in. All the things you're chasing right now, status, validation, distractions, they may not even belong to your real self. To become who you are, you must strip away what society expects, what your comfort zone demands, and listen deeply to the voice inside. It's not easy. In fact, Nietzsche argued it may be the most difficult task a human can attempt. He feared that instead of becoming who we are meant to be, most of us would fall into a lower form of existence, what he called the last man. A person who has become so numb, so addicted to comfort, that even the idea of progress feels like a burden. In Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche paints a haunting picture. They still work, for work is entertainment. But they take care that the entertainment does not exhaust them. Nobody grows rich or poor anymore. Both are too much of a burden. Who still wants to rule? Who obey? Both are too much of a burden. In this world, even the desire for more becomes exhausting. The last man doesn't want growth, risk, depth, or truth. He just wants to be comfortable. Always comfortable. And when entire societies begin to worship comfort over character, civilizations decline from the inside out. To drive the point home, Nietzsche's warning echoes a timeless lesson from Aesop's fable of the grasshopper and the ants. All through summer, the carefree grasshopper dances and sings, soaking in every drop of the sun. He looks at the ants, tirelessly working, and scoffs. They're too serious. They don't know how to enjoy life. But then winter comes. The warmth fades. The music stops. The grasshopper has no food, no plan, no protection. Desperate, he knocks on the ant's door and pleads, "Please share your food with me, I'm starving." But the ants reply, "You laughed at us. You refused to prepare. Now let's see if your singing and dancing will feed you in the cold." And they shut the door. This story isn't about bugs. It's about us. It's a mirror, reflecting how we often sacrifice our future for fleeting fun, how we value what's easy now over what matters later. And when life gets harsh, and it always does, it's the prepared who survive, not the entertained. So if you ever feel tempted to settle into ease, ask yourself, right finger, am I becoming the ant or the grasshopper? Right finger, am I becoming who I truly am, or just someone entertained enough to forget? Seedling. This brings us to the next inevitable question. What does it actually take to become who you are, despite everything pushing you to remain who you're not? Let's explore that together. Even as we escape the trap of comfort and laziness, there's another danger quietly waiting for us on the other side: mindless productivity. When pleasure and comfort become your highest values, laziness takes root. And when laziness takes over, you start sacrificing your future for your present cravings. You stop planting seeds for tomorrow because today feels good enough. But here's the turning point. Laziness begins to disappear the moment you recognize the true value of productivity. Why is productivity so powerful? Because the more intentionally productive you are, the more peaceful and prepared you can be when life inevitably tests you. Think of the squirrel that spends the summer gathering acorns. It doesn't panic when the winds of winter begin to blow. It's ready. The squirrel doesn't wait until it's freezing to act. It knows. Right finger winter always comes, even when summer feels endless. Just like in life, we must prepare while it's warm. The good times don't last forever. Comfort will fade. And when it does, your preparation, or lack of it, will speak louder than your words. Still, as Nietzsche warns against laziness, we must also beware of the opposite extreme: slavishness, a kind of blind, relentless overworking that drains the soul. Yes, working hard is noble. But working without purpose? That's just another form of self-destruction. After all, what's the point of achieving success if it empties you along the way? What's the point of climbing a mountain if when you finally reach the top, you realize you were never meant to be on that mountain in the first place? There's a popular Brazilian story that illustrates this beautifully. A fisherman is out on the ocean, basking in the sun, calmly catching fish. He's skilled at his craft, provides for his family, and takes time each evening to rest, so he can return to the water with energy the next day. He's progressing. He's balanced. He's content. One day, a businessman comes by and observes the fisherman. "You need to think bigger," he says. "Hire someone to help you catch more fish." "Why?" asks the fisherman. "Well, with more help, you'll catch more fish and sell them for extra money." "And then?" the fisherman replies. "Then you'll have enough profit to hire even more workers." "And then what?" "You'll be making so much money that you can buy a huge boat with a crew and nets. You'll catch 100 times more fish than today." The fisherman asks once more, "And then what?" Now clearly annoyed, the businessman exclaims, "Then you'll be rich. You can retire early and do whatever you want." The fisherman smiles gently and says, "But I am doing what I want. Right now." This short tale cuts deep. It reminds us of something we often forget. Warning: progress without purpose is just motion. When we chase more for the sake of more, we can lose the very life we were trying to build. Is just 24 Ramanan to build? So where's the answer? It lies between the extremes of laziness and overworking. I call this middle path joyful productivity. Joyful productivity is not about hustle or burnout. It's about putting your energy into meaningful actions, ones that matter, that make progress satisfying, and that protect you from the dangers of both the grasshopper and the businessman. To live a joyfully productive life, you must accept a truth many ignore. We live in interdependence. No one can thrive alone. So the goal is simple: create something of real value, exchange it with others, and use the return, be it money, support, or opportunity, to survive and grow with dignity. Seedling. So how do we actually live out joyful productivity, day by day? What does it look like in real modern life? Let's unpack that on the next page. After understanding the balance between laziness and slavishness, we come to the most important question: how do we actually build a life of joyful productivity? It begins with one simple truth: our world runs on value, and value is created through focus. To thrive in this world, not just survive, You must learn to create something meaningful, something others need, something only you can offer. And the best way to do that? Right finger. Focus your energy on mastering one single area of expertise. The great economist Adam Smith wrote in The Wealth of Nations, by reducing every man's business to some one simple operation, and by making this operation the sole employment of his life, necessarily increases very much the dexterity of the workman. In other words, specialization creates excellence. When your attention is no longer scattered, when you pour your full energy into one path, you sharpen your edge. Over time, that sharp edge becomes mastery. And mastery? That's where true value begins. Because once you become a master, you don't just work, you craft. You create things of worth. And when you create something valuable, you can exchange it for income, opportunity, and freedom. But how do you choose what to master? It must be something you deeply care about. Something you're curious about. Something that would keep you up at night. Not out of stress, but excitement. Because mastery takes time. A long, relentless, beautiful obsession with the smallest of details. And only passion can sustain you through that journey. Consider this. Bullseye Musashi, the legendary samurai, had to judge his next sword strike with unerring precision. Paint palette Da Vinci had to feel which brushstroke would breathe life into his canvas. Music score Mozart had to know which note, out of thousands, would stir the soul. That kind of discernment, that depth of understanding, doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from total immersion, built through love for the craft. A true master sees what others miss. They sense the subtle rhythms of their field, while others only notice the noise. To uncover what you're meant to master, Nietzsche gave us a question that still resonates today. Let the youthful soul look back on life with the question, what have you truly loved up to now? What has drawn your soul aloft? What has mastered it and blessed it? Go back. Before the noise. Before society told you what you should do. What fascinated you as a child? What absorbed your attention without effort? There, hidden within your earliest loves, may lie the path to your true self. This is the map, the framework for a joyfully productive life. Follow these steps. Compass. Expose yourself to many new experiences. Revisit your childhood curiosities. Notice what lights you up. Brain. Find a difficult problem within your area of passion. Something that challenges you. Problem war. Find a tenacity. Maniv the shalv. Hammer and wrench. Solve that problem in a unique way. Package. Turn the solution into a product or service others would value. Problem war. Money bag. Exchange that product or service for money. Repeat button. Use the money to keep improving your craft. And repeat from step 2. Each cycle sharpens you, refines you, grows you. Warning. But beware. Neglect this process, and laziness will creep in, destroying your future. Obsess over progress without soul, and slavishness will consume you, destroying your spirit. The answer lies in this rhythm. Sparkles, discover your passion. Transform it into mastery. Solve something hard. Share it with the world. Let the rewards feed your growth. Repeat until the very end. That is how you build a life that matters. So in the end, it's simple, not easy, but simple. You have 2 choices. Let life happen to you, or make life from what's inside you. Comfort will always be there. Laziness will always call. The question is, will you answer? Find your craft. Master it. Make something valuable. Give it to the world. And remember this: the world won't destroy you because it's cruel. It'll destroy you because you were soft. So be sharp. Be useful. Be ready. Hali Cons. Winter always comes. Hali Pui, Nam Pui. Thank you for your time. If one idea touched you today, come back next time, it may reach deeper. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a quiet moment. See you in the next video.